Hello everyone, welcome back to what will be the final episode of Dark Souls 2. I'm Genesis013 and, well, a little explanation probably isn't due to this. Basically, it's been forever since I've done this, and quite literally, I've been sort of combating this since, like, for a good while, since probably Predator, but I'm sort of just, I've been really burned out on Dark Souls 2, and really at this point, before college really begins to go into overtime and probably will delay my recording some more, I decided I'm gonna put this playthrough to rest. So unfortunately, exploration of Valais and Lois will have to be for another time. So yeah, that's just, it's terrible for me to do this. I know I'm usually not gonna do I wouldn't do this normally, but it's just I really wanted to be done. So that's basically the only thing I can say. I am sorry. So with that said, here we are at the final layer of the game, the Throne of Want. At long last, our journey shall come to an end, and well, it's not the final area without a boss. So that fog gate tells us everything. For those who do not know or have not played this game and want to know where this is, basically, it was behind a king's door that requires the seal of the kings. Specifically, it is underneath This is currently underneath Drang Lake Castle, more so near the first bonfire you can actually access to in that area. So that's just a reference for anyone else who hasn't played this game. That's just all I wanted to tell you guys. And basically, for here, there are two summon signs for us that are basically NPCs, allowing us to summon Vengarl and Benhard, actually. But for the sake of this, I don't think we're gonna need them really a whole lot. So that said, let's enter to the Throne Watcher and Defender. These guys are really not fun. Think of them as Ornstein and Smo, if not. Whoa. That's basically the best way I can describe them, is they are, in essence, Ornstein and Smo, just they're both kind of fast. Okay then! I don't know how that dodged, but okay. Oh. Basically, the gimmick with these guys is they basically it sort of goes with the same thing. The Throne Watcher is the fast one. They're agile, but doesn't have as much armor. Throne Defender, in the meantime, is the slower one, but has more damage. Jesus. And when they become slow health, they actually enchant their weapons to do sort of magical damage of sort. Oh god. Ooh. But again, it's usually when they're at low health, so that's a good sign for you to see whenever that comes. Okay, hello. I should probably start doing damage. Oh Jesus! But there's sort of a tactic with unlike the Ornstein and Smo fight, there's sort of a difference with them that sort of separates them. That doesn't make them quite like Biggie Smalls, really. Where usually I would just say kill one of them, and your life's much easier. Doesn't quite apply to these guys a whole lot. Although thankfully the Defender himself becomes much easier when he actually draws his sword, because when he actually enchants his weapon, because I was trying to say he drops his shield, which infinitely makes him much easier to deal with, and he will typically two-hand his weapon. Meanwhile, the Defender the Watcher will just always be as she is, or he is actually. He's a guy, I forget. You're probably wondering why I'm still, again, as I've been continually keeping these guys like near lowish health, because in order to beat this boss, you have to kill them both at the same time, or roughly in the same time, because if you leave just one of them alone, they both revive, or the other one will revive to full health, so that's generally something you gotta do. But we've killed them, but that's not all.
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. Now, be one with the dawn.
You thought it was over, right? Well, didn't you? Well, surprise! Say hello to the actual final boss of Dark Souls 2, Nashandra, the other Dark Sister. And she basically starts this entire fight hidden behind literal pools of curse. That is what she will do. She will always do this. You'll be cursed infinitely, and if you're at a distance, well, you're kind of there, but you can kind of get rid of these. You can get rid of these pools by just rolling through them, but yeah. Best way really to deal with her is just kind of lure her out of it. Lure her out of her little safety, out of her little bubble. Her laser isn't that hard to dodge, I was gonna say, as I died. It's not hard to dodge, you can easily get rid of it because she does very sweeping motions when she does so, but that's neither here nor there. So, you know, we died. That's alright though, because you know, death is only a beginning. And with Nashandra, you don't really have to worry about, like, curse is actually a thing where you don't have to worry about it. Although she can and very much will easily kill you with curse if you're not careful. So that's just one thing to worry about. You can, I know you are able to basically both roll and I think attack the her little curse worlds in order to dispatch them. Melee wise, that's a good thing to do, is to just hit her with rain, just break a few like 1 or 2 wells, just attack her and dodge her attacks as you go. Because her moves are very, like, she's surprising, like, she's a very easy boss to deal with, like, in any stretch of the imagination. Like, for range people, you're in good luck. You don't have to worry about the curse wells. You just have to have the range to actually physically touch her. That's really all you gotta do. If you have arrows, by all means, you could just sit there and just shoot arrows at her. In fact, I'll even say this because I discovered this on my own, like with another build I did, which was just a Dex character, and I eventually got fed up with like the last areas and I just got poison arrows just to deal with the more annoying enemies. You can totally poison Nashandra. She can die of poison. I'm just gonna let that sink in for a bit of your final boss dying from poison. But here are the souls of the Throne Defender and Watcher before we go tango with Nashandra some more. Soul of the Throne Defender. The throne of the king is sacred and requires an appropriate guardian. Use the soul of the Defender to acquire numerous souls or create something of great worth. And the Watcher is roughly of the same, but only that the throne of the king is sacred and must be observed closely at all times. Basically, these two goons were kind of hired. It's implied that these two goons were basically hired by Vendrick to watch over the throne of Wantier. Probably from Nashandra, of all people. But then again, he set up such a very elaborate means of dealing with it, of keeping her from getting it. It's kind of silly.
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. Now, be one with the dawn.
So yeah, that's a alternate scene that plays with Nashandra. Usually you will get what you just witnessed is the scene before, like when we first fought her, typically plays out only when you've basically defeated the Throne Watcher and Defender and then like saved them for last. The scene I just got when we fought her only plays when you have basically killed both. If you've killed the Throne Watcher and Defender and left her and like before like the end of the game, basically where we are now. And Nashandra here just doesn't want to play nice, so if she wants to play that way, I will totally play that way too. I will totally hit her with dark magic. She is very resistant to dark magic, which I guess goes without saying, being a child of dark herself, but not a whole lot you can do. And that's just another one of her cases of her scythe magic being really easy to avoid and whatnot. She's really a in my opinion, she's a lackluster final boss, really. Like, if anything, she reminds me of the final boss of Demon Souls, actually, where it's of a similar theme of being... You're good. Oh. Gotta deal with a curse wall over here. Whoop. Alright. I'm only doing that just so I can get close enough to her for my Dark Orbs to actually hit without being drained away by Nashandra's little curse wells, because those will actually kill you, even when you are fully, like, 100% cursed. Also, being near her lasers also curse you, which generally takes a bit of life out of you, be it, you know, normal. You know, Nashandra, you could have hit me with that your scythe, actually. But, you know, you can shoot your laser, you could fire your pew-pew laser at me if you really want. That's also fine. Also, that's another variation of, like, her horizontal sweep she can do. She can try to hit you with a, well, 3-hit combo to do a surprise. Also, if you are too close to her, she will try to explode on you, basically. But, yeah. That said, she's... Oh. In terms of final bosses, she's very, very simplistic. She's very, very simplistic. The only thing I can think of you probably dying to Nashandra is if like me, you got accidentally caught by her laser and were unfortunately, and you were like kind of stun locked by it. That's understandable. The other thing I can think of is probably the first time, the first and only real time I've died to Nashandra was from her curse wells. Only because I didn't realize that, well, her version of curse kills you regardless. Like, that was something I wasn't aware of, and I paid for the price ever so dearly, and it was not fun. So yeah, Shandra here is almost dead. And, well, we have come a long way. To be dealing with a soul of madness who, well, if you guys remember from Dark Souls 1, gave me a lot of trouble as Voltaire, so think of this as sweet revenge! All of my souls for that final attack, and she's dead. Well worth it to finally use that hex. Climax basically is a hex we got from Grandal, the Dark Diver. Basically, it uses all of our souls. For one, it costs all of our souls to basically perform a final attack to do as much damage as humanly possible. And with that, we have claimed the soul of Nashandra, the Queen of Drangleic. Nashandra was born of the dark and was insatiable, with an insatiable lust for strength. And, well, unfortunately, and this is something that really peeves me about this game, we've beaten the enemy. Unfortunately, the fog gate is, well, still up. We cannot escape this area. Once you defeat Nashandra, there is no turning back at all. This is the end of your road. The only way you can go, well, is forward there, to the Throne of One itself. Whether or not you want to or not, you are forced to go here, unfortunately. So, it's been a long journey, Voltaire. Say goodbye to everyone, and, well, we'll see you guys in the credits with my final thoughts.
You who link the fire. You who bear the curse. Once the fire is linked, souls will flourish anew, and all of this will play out again. It is your choice to embrace or renounce this. Great Sovereign, take your throne. What lies ahead, only you can see.
And well, that was Dark Souls 2. This has been a long Let's Play of mine. Like not part wise, but I guess just in terms of how long I've worked on this. I guess it's I'm sort of glad that it's finally over personally. Mostly just because this was a hard one to do. Not for like the usual things of like a game is too hard or person's being frustrated. For me, it was actually like technical wise. I've been like from video one from the first video I did for Dark Souls 2. I have just been plagued by technical difficulties after technical difficulties. Like I'd have to re-record videos would just be flat out lost. Like progress I've made just couldn't be repeated. Just everything you could imagine just would go wrong has happened for me in this playthrough, and it's just I don't know. It kind of hampered my spirits a bit, yeah. I'm just with that said, I'll put that aside. Other than that, I had fun with this. I'll admit I had fun. I had fun with this project in the end. To me, it was nice to be able to continue the story of Voltaire, who it was as like a what-if scenario of like if Voltaire like survived after all those years instead of going hollow. This is how I imagine it would be, him just regaining his power as the abyssal sorcerer he became. For the game itself, I guess I'll talk about that. It's an okay game. It's still, like, Dark Souls 2, it's still a good game. As a Souls game, though, I personally feel that it's not a good Souls game. But that said, it's an okay game. It's fun, yes, but there's just, to me personally, it just feels like there was enough, like, game design, like, issues that just kind of went wrong. I've had this game since the pre-order, pre-releases, when it first came out. So I can at least tell from experience. I've seen this game grow and have been fixed as it goes. It's just, I don't know. It does come off retrospectively. It does come out that this game was sort of rushed out, or at least it has moments where it feels like it was rushed out, but. No game was perfect in the end, I suppose. Nothing was. No series can continue to be as perfect, I guess, or can continue on such strong foots every now and then. So, I guess it was inevitable that this game eventually, one game of the Soul series would eventually have to fall under the game no one cares a whole lot about, or game that brings a bad taste in mouth. I don't know. But other than that, sounds good. The sound is good. The sound is actually good. I like that. Combat combat's much more fluid. It's not that's also appreciative. There were polish in places, but other than that, there was some places that it could have used that same refining. A lot of areas just felt like you were just going into like literally you're literally walking into just like flat out hallways, like Aldia's Keep, unfortunately, like a place like near the end of the game, and it's just like a glorified hallway at best. Actually, a lot of the later parts of the game actually were like that. I don't know. It just felt like there was just not enough exploration, and if there were like wide areas, there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough advantage taken of those areas. Instead of just here's a big area, but really you're still not going anywhere. I don't know. I still care about the Soul series. I really do. I tried so hard in this to show you guys what I could. I tried to record a lot. I did so much. I spent so much doing introductions, and there were still things I missed. Like I found out, like in the conversation, the Majula thing that I stopped. There was actual dialogue I wanted to show you guys that I missed. I missed that, unfortunately. And I only have myself to blame, but in the end, I guess the main question I can only think of is, am I going to do another? Am I going to do more, like, videos of Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2? Maybe. I might. I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely gonna be putting the Soul series for a break for now because, like, I have the Let's Play with Grimm. I needed American McGee's Grimm. I gotta do. There's another Let's Play I have planned. Just other things I got planned, but I probably will return. Will I be doing Demon's Souls? Is probably another question I can guess you guys are thinking of. Again, that's a maybe. If I can find a copy again, I will, because that's the game I've been wanting to replay again. But yeah, that's all I can really say. Until then, everyone, I'll see you guys in the next video I record. I've been Genesis013, and well, I'll let the credits see you guys out. Bye.